Come on in, fellas. Come on in. Come on in. Let's rock it. Let's get a topic going. Got more info in on our Texas ICE shooter. What is up with everybody today? Been a beautiful day, fellas. As people starting to get it together and come in. Y'all go ahead, come on in, double tap them screens, go sub to the channel, check out the content, but most of all, help us defeat the algorithm by double tapping that screen, making sure that thumbs up button is lit up, and dropping comments. That's the most important thing you could do. I appreciate everybody who's stopping in, who make a comment, who help support the live stream. You guys mean the world to me, and that's real talk. No cap, for real, for real. We could not do this without you guys. What is up? What is up? What is up? This is Daniel with Popeye's Pew Pews coming to you live from, well, parts unknown. It may say Texas, it may say Cali, it may say South Georgia. Who knows where Papa's at? But what I do know is we need to be ready, folks. America's in a hell of a shape right now, man. And I don't care which side of the aisle you're on, we're in a bad situation, bro. Y'all need to keep your heads on a swivel, pay attention out there. You need to, if you do firearms, you need to get proficient. You need to always pay attention to your surroundings. Never get in situations you can't get out of quickly. Like I said, the value on a human life has become absolutely nothing. So, guys, stay safe out there. Train, keep your family safe. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're staying, ready at all times. But I do appreciate y'all that come in. I ask you double tap the screen, whether it be if you're on a computer, light up that thumbs up button, double tap the screen, light up that thumbs up button, and drop comments. Rhodes, what is up, brother? Good to see you. Damn good to see you today, Rhodes. Xavier, what's good, bruh? Hey guys, we also doing a subathon. All my lives are subathons. So if you got a handle, you're trying to grow your channel, drop your handle down there. Let people get the subbing to you. Oh, things are good on my end, Roads. Other than we've had another shooting here, a ICE facility. A guy decided he wanted to fire upon ICE agents, but he didn't hit the agents. He hit the people they had actually picked up to be deported. So that's kind of stupid. Three people in the chat. Double tap them screens, guys. Let's go. Let's get a conversation going. We could sub to the channel later if y'all don't want to do that, but at least drop some comments. Whether you agree with me or not, let's have an open conversation. Let's have a debate, a civil debate, a civil discourse. We're adults. We can do that kind of thing. No insults, no calling each other names, just an open ended hey, and at the end we can agree to disagree, and we can agree on certain points. I mean, that's what this is all supposed to be about, man. Us teaching each other, learning from each other. Your ideas matter, my ideas matter. Put them together and let's find a solution to some of this stuff. J Dog on your headphones, I'll be listening. Yes, sir. Don't get in trouble though, bro. J Dog hiding in the bathroom. A bat, sword, stick, spear, knife, anything you get your hands on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Raging Bullets and Beyond. What is up, brother? Have you been keeping up with the news today, Raging? Raging Bullets. We're trying to figure this out in Paul's live earlier. The shooter left behind a stripper clip with ammo, and it had anti-ice things on the bullets. What other than an M1? I think some 30-06 might have a stripper clip, but what other rifles have stripper clips? What else can you think of that rocks stripper clips, not mags? No, y'all just went live. Okay. SKS, okay. SKS, yes. SKS has stripper clip. You know what? Now that you said that, J Dog, that may have been what it was. Yeah, I know there's several out there. First one that popped in my mind was the M1, but I wasn't thinking about the SKS because my SKS had the external nanomag on it. Sup, Wick, my homie? Welcome back, bro. That was a hell of a live you did. What was your total count? Did you look? Cause you ran a good bit of people for a good while, bro. But I appreciate all y'all stopping in. This will be my last live of the night. I was just trying to bust out a quick one real quick. Talk a little bit more about the situation that's going on out there in Texas. I read a little bit more as I was getting ready to do my live. He's deleted, his Facebook's been took down, or social media, but he did have a lot of pro AnTIfa stuff, a lot of anti-right stuff. Um, so there's a lot of stuff there. And Paul, when we were trying to figure out the rifle, um, J Dog says SKS also has stripper clips. 3,452. That's a hell of a live with what we've been getting here lately, bro. You can't complain with that at all. Need to also look at your watch hours, Paul. See where you are on your watch hours, bro. You do that by hitting that little cash button, that little cash symbol, and it'll tell you how many public watch hours you have. Because that's where it's going to get you. 7 people in the chat. I appreciate everybody who takes the time out their day to stop by with all of us gun tubers, not just me. If y'all on pause, if y'all on, J Dogs, I appreciate you guys and Raging Bullets that go and take time. Yeah, you got to build up your watch hours. And Raging Bullets, it seems the only way to do that right now is running 2 and 3 hour lives, bro. Just run them and let them go. Um, I know that's hard to do even if you got to walk away for a little while, because they have really affected our watch hours right now. But good news is I've seen some things that YouTube may be doing away with some of the stuff that they've put in place, so it might turn around on us again. Yes, I will answer that for you. Yes, you should carry a firearm in church. You should have designated people that sit in designated places that carry a firearm in church. We've had several that we've stopped because we were carrying, and even when I was preaching, I always had one appendix carry underneath my suit. Always carried my firearms. Look at how many churches have been open firearms just here recently. Um, no anti-gun zone is good. I don't care where you are. If you're not allowing firearms, you're creating innocent targets. Because the bad guy knows that there's not a gun there, they're going to go in there and purposely do what they do unchecked. But some of your security teams aren't all that either, though. That's another thing. One of the reasons why I made the topic is because I saw Facebook of a megachurch pastor. Yeah, well, that megachurch pastor ain't a pastor to begin with. I'm gonna say what's on my mind and my heart. Most of the megachurch pastors preaches tithes, tithes, tithes. You give us your money and God will send you a blessing. It don't always work that way because the tithes can be your time also. If you're putting time building up that ministry, if you're putting time cleaning up that ministry, if you're putting time into a ministry, that's the same thing as a tithe. All the years I preached, I might do a sermon a year about tithes. That was it. Because it's supposed to be about saving souls. The Bible would tell these ministers and these um, disciples all the time, don't worry about the money. Go where you go. It will be provided. And if they don't provide, knock the dust off your feet and move on to the next place. Fact Seeker, what is up, my brother? There's a lot of false doctrines out there being preached from mainstream places. And here's another thing, easy speaking churches are mega churches. That are what we used to call feel good churches. That's why people go there. As long as they throw their little bit of money at that pastor, he don't say nothing to step on their toes. I won't step into a church unless I feel like my toes have been stepped on. I want to learn. I want that rebuke. I want that feeling. Our state, Georgia, is a constitutional carrier. Our churches support. Yes, sir. We sure enough do, Raging Bullets. We sure do. From your Pentecostals to your Southern Baptists to your Church of Gods to your Church of God of Prophecies, they support the Second Amendment. One of my buddies, and he's a real good friend of mine, Andrew Green, he's big on the internet. He'll tell you flat out he's carrying. Greg Locke, he'll tell you flat out he's carrying. These are guys that I've hung out with, that I've pastored with over the years. Yeah, they want you, naturally, I don't think you should open carry in a church. I think it should be concealed. I think it should be, on the low. Everybody don't need to know who it is. But unfortunately, Wick, you're right. No matter where you are, you're not safe. So you need to be able to carry. That's part of this thing what I'm talking about today. The human life value has been done away with. They want to see us gone. There you go, fact seeker. Well, let me add to that, fact seeker. If I might, let me add to what you just said. You don't personally believe in the book, but you believe in God. Now, here's the thing with that. That book has been misinterpreted with good intentions and bad intentions since its conception. People nowadays don't know that book was written in Aramaic, Greek, Hebrew, and Latin. Them words, basically, our English didn't exist back then. So they take something that's close and they reinterpret it. For instance, the word repent. And everybody thinks they got to live this perfect life. Repent just means change your heart and try to do better, bro. Um, it's not what the churches have made it out to sound like today. Roads, same thing. Religion in the wrong hands more dangerous than them firearms you see right there. And there's plenty of proof to that. Look at the holy wars all the way up until today's present time. You know, organized religion kills a lot of people. Jehovah's Witness, yep. KP, I tried to get on Paul Wick's live, but he had it on private. You're not subbed to to Paul? Paul, did you have your live on private? Yeah, I had that problem with Pew Pew the other day, and it wasn't. Come to find out, it wasn't Pew Pew that had it on private. YouTube had pulled that, so it might have done the same thing with Paul. Because I know I don't set mine on private, but I had somebody tell me they couldn't get it on mine, and I'm like, I don't set mine on private. Well, actually, Fact Seeker, there is. Where a lot of your books don't make sense. Back when we had a lady pope, when the Bible was being written, they took a lot of books out of the Bible called the Apocrypha. Look that up and read that, and it would make some of the other books make sense. You had a bunch of new folks tap in. Gotcha. But once again, I don't think religion should be pushed on nobody. I don't think my beliefs should be pushed on nobody. My beliefs are my beliefs, and your beliefs are your beliefs, and I feel that's how it should be. Um, I think that should, in the true religion form, in the true Christianity form, your walk is an individual walk at your pace, at your time, and that should be something you discover, not something I tell you what to do. I'm surprised how many viewers came in, and I figured we get zero. Hey, good, bro. Hey, I'm all for let's grow these channels, man, because if YouTube's not going to help us, we need to stick together and help ourselves. And that's something that I really want to push. Right, right. Explain it in our own way, man. We learn at our own pace. We to me, just like, all right, when my daughters were dating, my wife wouldn't like somebody they were dating, and I was like, don't push, because the more you push, they're going to run towards. It's the same thing with everything else. Yeah, the Book of Enoch. My favorite is Bel and the Dragon, Raging Bullets, because it adds more story to Daniel and the Lion's Den. It makes a lot more sense when you read Bel and the Dragon and then you read Daniel and the Lion's Den. It makes a lot more sense, and then it makes it a lot more believable. Because then you understand why the priests were so mad at him, why they hated on him, because he kept basically proving that they were frauds. And there's some questions that there aren't any straight answers to, and that's just the honest thing, man. And see, Rhodes, there you go. You just said something right there. I don't care which religion you follow. The core is pretty much the same in all of them. Be a good person. Try to help your neighbor out. Try to love people. Try to respect people. And try to live your life the best you can. And that is the core teachings on all these religions. But a lot of them go back to what was started this conversation. Oh, you owe us tithes. You got to pay tithes to be blessed. No, you could be blessed without paying tithes. My job's not to go there and make the preacher richer. Because if you go to the Levitical law, because they love preaching the Old Testament, you go to the Levitical law, the priest didn't make money. They lived off of the excess that the church had. Whether it be the food, whether it be whatever. They didn't own property. They wasn't allowed to own property. They had to live at the church, and they lived off of what came into the church. And don't be out here. Damn it, Paul. 15 people in the chat. Let's go, guys. Double tap them screens. Let's rock this chat out. Let's get some views up today. Let's get it going. I'm turning on my ceiling fan. Y'all keep talking. I done turned my ceiling fan off during the morning time, and now I'm getting hot. But let's go. Let's talk about it. But yeah, I was reading more about the ICE shooting, guys, and in a way, he kind of made himself look stupid, man. He shot into a panel van. I guess he thought he was getting ICE agents, and he ended up getting illegals that they had picked up. But yet he gonna have anti-ICE shit on his bullets. What a dummy. But they said his social media has been taken down, but it was full of like Antifa quotes and all kind of crazy stuff, man. And that's what I'm getting at. You know, all you politicians, we need to tone down the rhetoric. We need to, man, we're too late for that. The genie has been let out the bottle. Now it's time for us more than ever to keep our heads on a swivel, carry our firearms, train with our firearms, and just be on the lookout. You know, it's time to, and then on the government side, it's time for them to make examples of these folks and anybody who was involved. Because all too often they do what this guy, jackass did and take the cowardly route and off himself before anybody could get their hands on him. Always have your situational awareness exactly. And I like what EDC and a few people is doing right now. They're doing little videos about situational awareness at like banks and grocery stores and even the churches, what you were talking about. You know, people need to know the basics. And there's nobody out here really teaching it. Paul, you had somebody in your class. In your class, that's me here. I go back to thinking I'm in Zoom. I'm doing shit backwards. In Zoom, I think I'm on YouTube, and in YouTube, I think I'm on Zoom. But you had people in your chat talking about wanting to learn some of the basics about how to enter rooms, how to, you know, I think that's something that we should have little YouTube shorts on teach people how to do some of the basics because they're starving for that info. But no, YouTube would rather push people doing dumb shit than people who want to actually teach and train. Well, I have a political position, I really do, fact seeker, but it's not the political position most people have. I feel my political position is less government, the better. Because everything the government touches, they make worse. Whether it be the welfare system, whether it be the situation I'm in with the foster kids, my grandkids. If they'd get the hell out of my way and give me back control, I'd raise my grandkids. I don't need their help. Um, Anything the government touches get worse. We need less government and more real people. We need it back to the way the Declaration was designed. The people with the power. Not us in here, but society in general has gotten far too dependent on governments. They want them to make all their decisions from their health to their finances to all that. You're messing up. And another thing, man, Paul, I'm fixing to start doing shorts on this. We talk about how to use these. We talk about what to do and how to use these. But does anybody really talk about how not to use these? Now, I'm not talking once again about a mass situation. I'm talking about if you're encountered, if you have somebody run up on you. Do you know how to de escalate a situation? Do you know how to get out of a situation without having to go to that? If at all possible, is what I'm saying. Because right or wrong, take it from me, if you take a human life, you live with that the rest of your life. Yeah, exactly, fact seeker. You 100%, bro. And like I said, and none of us are ever going to agree on everything. We're individuals. We have our own separate thought processes. We have our own separate mentalities, and all that went together to make America the country that it was. There used to be a time people could disagree and learn from one another. Because I might not like what you say right now, and in an hour from now, I go to thinking about it again. What's that? Wait a minute, he had a point. We don't do that kind of stuff anymore. You know, and that's what it's about. You know, it's about us coming together, throwing some ideas on the table, and not everything's going to work. So, shit, throw the shit at the wall until something sticks. But I can tell you what the answer is not. They've already started it today. I watched several lives during this ICE thing, and I've seen people say, you Americans need to allocate who can have firearms and who can't. That is not the answer. Taking away the firearms is not the answer. I watched a show last night about a guy incarcerated. He got drunk and fired his gun up in the air and killed his 11-year-old daughter. And at the end, they used it as a chance for the gun grabbers. They had him do the interview, and he says, I hate guns now. I don't think nobody should have guns. Guns kill people. No, your stupid ass killed somebody by being drunk and firing a firearm through the top of your ceiling knowing your daughter was upstairs. The gun didn't do it. You did it. Yep, a discourse, a civil discourse, and that's the thing, bro. I got a ton of people on the left. I got a ton of people on the right, And I tell both of them they're jackasses. I really do. I think everything's way hyped up. I think YouTube's took it and and the media's took it and they twist it around, and before you know it, it's this big ass thing. You got folks talking about civil war, getting revenge. You got all this stuff going on, and that's not the answer. We've been down that route. Exactly. No, they ain't taking my guns. Not at all, Rhodes. That's not the answer. Because once again, it only affects law abiding citizens. The criminals are going to have them. Paul says, no, Rhodes, stay away. You can't have them, mate. But that's like when the government come up with red flag laws. On paper, that's a good theory. If you got somebody you think have mental issues and you go seize their firearms, but then when you actually see how it's done, say you got a say you got a say you got a spiteful ex-wife. The way the red flag states are set up, somebody you've not seen in 20 years can pick up the phone, call the magistrate, say, "Hey, I was married to him 20 years ago and he was violent," and they will come seize your weapons. You might get a court date, you might not, until they deem you able to have your firearms again, which they may do or they may not do. So red flag laws isn't the answer either, because they won't do it for just what it is. They've always got to add that little extra fuckery into it. And you notice the last couple of shootings haven't been the big old scary ARs. Now they're going to your hunting rifles, your handguns. Why? Because now they want to expand that gun grabber now. They already know they can get away with doing away with bump stocks and FRTs and stuff like that. They know they can get away with that. So now let's start going after handguns and hunting rifles and things like that. It's all agenda driven. But we got 11 people in the chat. Let's go. Figured I'd knock out a quickie. Holler at y'all for a few minutes. Wife's getting ready to start her Zoom class. I might walk in there and tell them to like and subscribe for the hell of it. Our crimes are mostly handguns, pistols, and bigger pistols. Yeah. But, yep. But now you see it start to change. Now it's starting to be your high power rifles with scopes. Rhodes, I won't disagree with you on that. We have a messed up society. They took a lot of stuff out. The kids are fucked up. This is something I'm learning through the trauma classes. You got kids with so many fucked up at home from youth. They're able to disassociate so fast now. What's up, Luca? Yep, guns, brother, guns. Just a few of them. You got on the right Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. In the middle, Taurus 357 Magnum. On the left, pink Taurus TCP. And then you got the custom Henry 22 lever action. And on body. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the DB380. My bad. I'm holding on in a holster the Shield Plus. My bad. Yep, Luca. My 1911's usually up on the screen, but it's back in the bag now. I got the 1911 45 ACP with the white St. Jude grips. You can go check out the content, though. Sub to the channel and you'll see it. It's up there. Got some Ruger 5.7s. I've got a little bit of everything over there. Nope, because it's in a bag, and if I unzip this bag, YouTube will get me for touching the firearm, and they'll cancel my live. They're not mice guns, they're for people. Most of mine's for animals, deer, hog, and anybody who may come in and try to harm my family. Yeah, Luca, YouTube's gotten really crazy on how we operate. That's why we're not even on the screen. If you see most gun guys now, you see it like this right here. We don't even go on the screen if we can help it. Because if we get close to them, I don't care how old you are, Luca. I believe in teaching people young how to be responsible, how to be safe. And I feel at your age, you should be like Tennessee just started a thing to where they're teaching it in school again, gun safety and just the basics. Because that's another problem. There's too much stuff being forbidden. Why the 38? That's not a 38. That's a 357. And how is it pointed at you, Koala? It's pointed at a cell phone, and you on the other side of a screen. And anybody who carries revolvers, they know that the cylinder that it's sitting on is always left empty. Just so you know that. Yep. Education. Education fixes all that. 16 folks in the chat. Double tap them screens. Go check out the brothers in the comment section. Sub to their channels. A lot of different firearms. It's a really big group of guys. Really good group of guys. Go check out my content. Sub to the channel. Help us defeat the algorithm by liking the live stream, making sure that thumbs up button's lit up, and dropping comments. Hampty boy, congrats on the pregnancy. Hampty's a nut. The lever action is a 22 Henry lever action. That was my father-in-law's gun, and when he passed away, I had the woodwork redone. I had it custom Cerakoted. It's going to be his tribute rifle. But it's damn good seeing all y'all in here today. Glad y'all took a few minutes of your day to come hang out with me. And like I said, this will be my last live I do for the day. I'm going to hop on some of y'all's lives tonight, hang out, chill with y'all. 13 folks in the chat, double tap them screens. Gotta go by. All right, Luca, see ya. You already know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's 11 p.m. in Switzerland. Yeah, it's night time. But that's a beautiful country you live in. I'm gonna eat pizza and cheese sticks for dinner. Yep, I'm fixing to start munching down on some pork chops in just a few minutes. Some green beans, taters, pork chops, mac and cheese, and I made a little bit of garlic toast. That's what I said. That's what I said. You just said what I said from the beginning, that some 30-06 had stripper clips. Thrash, 100%. But SKS, M1 Garand, and I'm sure there's other rifles that use stripper clips. So, going to fix this country. It's education, fixing the middle class, and it's 3:15 in the day in Utah. Yeah, it's what time is it here? Let's see. 5:16 p.m. here. 5:16. So I'm about an hour away from my bedtime. 7:30 a.m. in Australia. So y'all just getting the day started. Thursday. Man, we still on Wednesday, unfortunately, but I can't wait. Yeah, 223 has stripper clips in the box. You're right, Xavier. But that didn't look like a 223. That really did look like a 30-06 round. I'm not even fixing the front. If you go look at it, it looks like a 30-06 round. It's gonna be in between. I think when they finally do tell it, it's gonna be in between the 30-06 and maybe a SKS round. I think anyway. Tactical Llama, what is up, brother? Tactical, you got a live schedule tonight, or is that Friday night? Yeah, the comment in the pause chat. Yeah, I know. We were trying to figure out tactical. What other rifles other than 30-06, M1 Garand, and SKS uses stripper clips? My mind's going blank, and I can't think what else uses stripper clips, not mags. Probably be on tonight. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Mauser M98, Mosin, yeah, Mosin Nagant, yep. Didn't look like a Mosin ammo. I could be wrong. 1903 Springfield, M1 Garand, think possibly the M14. It looked like a 30-06 to me. The rounds looked like about the size of a 30-06. Nerd out, my boy. Yes, sir. I knew Lama would know. Yeah, they haven't showed the rifle. They only showed the strips. Okay. Nice catching up. Load content. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. The rounds definitely are taller than a 308 to pick. Yeah. Yeah, the rounds, I agree. They do look like 30-06 rounds. My point is the dummy had anti ICE slogans on them and ended up shooting immigrants. Stupid. But I do find they're going to find he's been there a couple of days watching because he knew what time they were coming in. He knew about the Sally Port being wide open. And then he fired into they said it was just a regular panel van with no windows. So he just, I guess, assumed it was going to be full of agents. And then there's the other main story. The would-be Trump assassin tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen during court. Nope, it doesn't make sense. What is up, Brantley? Yep, Xavier 100%. But Xavier, little known fact, your felons not owning firearms came out of the high profile cases like MLK, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy. Kind of like what I was talking about. Now they're targeting rifles and handguns and stuff like that. That's how they start to pass these things. Went on, got the FN Reflex yesterday. Yes, sir. How do you like it, or have you had a chance to play with it yet? Yes, we do, Xavier. We need to stand up, and we need to call a duck, no matter what side of the aisle they on. And we need to prosecute to the fullest, and we need to set an example. Make it very painful, make it very public, because a lot of this is copycats. You see that from the writings on the cases. Okay, you want to be a copycat? We're going to show you what we did to the first one. And when we make it bad enough, by the time we do a few of them that way, it won't be so popular to be a copycat anymore. What's up, Reaper? Appreciate it, baby. Yep. But when we start making examples and making it public, you'll see a lot of this slow down. Reaper, where you been at? Working a lot, bro? Yes, sir. 14,000 subs. You do the damn thing, Llama. Back, guys. It done it to me again. It done it to me again, guys. See, that's the kind of shit YouTube's pulling. Right there. 43 minutes and it tried to kill my live. You see that? Guys, drop some comments so I know that it's working again. You can't tell me YouTube ain't got a problem that they're not wanting to admit. Yep. See? Same thing it done the other day. And now, every one of my views up until now, it'll cancel and it'll tell me I didn't do. Yep. Well, no, it just cut mine completely off. It made me restart the live just now, back out, go back in, and resume the live. Let me rephrase that. And now it'll tell me I only had 100 views. That's what it's fixing to do to me. It'll take all my watch hours, everything. Yeah, there's folks in here to tell you, Wit and all of them. They watched it do it to me 3 different times, what, 2 days ago? Yep. Welcome to 1984. See, mine hadn't told me it's time to take a break. Mine just, everything will flash, and it'll either say reconnecting or it'll just go all the way back to the YouTube home screen, and I have to hit live again, and it'll say, "Do you want to resume the live?" And when I say yes, it's like I lost everything before that point. But it's okay. I'm gonna keep pushing on. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. You got Jerome saying his stuff's going backwards, not forward. His counts are going backwards. What is up, Lean Green Adventures of a Southern Lad? Good to see you again. Sorry, guys, just trying to gobble down my food because, this is the end of my day. Coffee time. Yes, sir. Get that coffee in you. Lean Green, how you drink your coffee? You like it black? You like sugar and cream in it? How you drink your coffee? That'll work, brother. Milk with 2 sugars. Yes, sir. I always have to add 2 more sugars, so I have to have 4 sugars and a little bit of milk. My bulldog's sitting here. I don't know why when I eat, he thinks he has to eat. You eat more than I eat, boy. Ain't no more. All gone. All right, guys. I'm going to do some checking on the YouTube. I'm going to hop off here. I love you guys. Stay strapped. Keep one in the tube. Always be aware of your surroundings. Be safe out there, guys. Love you guys.